Yeah, Fairy Peak. First time of the day that we don't need to kick someone from a party or leave the party before I start the next one. I hope you guys agree that best of 3 is more than enough here. I think that best of 3 is perfectly fine for this format. Even going into a final, I think it's okay. I'm not like disappointed the fact that we're going to do best of 3 here. I'm going to keep it a best of 3 because I've said since the beginning that it was going to be best of 3 because this has been a long tournament. It's been a long day for these guys, and I don't want to keep them any longer than they have to be. Although I'm sure that a lot of these guys would play more, I don't want to make them play more. Like, don't make them play any more than we have to establish the best player. BO5 final, no, best of 3 all the way. I know some of you guys like best of 5s, but we're going to do best of 3. I mean, since I'll ask these guys, right? Just since you are the only players that are left, I'll let you decide our BO5 final. I'll let them both decide, and if they can't agree, I'll decide. All right, Fairy Peak wants 5. I'm okay with 5. Up to you as well. Don't feel pressured. It's all right. Okay, 5 it is. Yeah, we'll go for 5 because I know that the only people that are affected by the series is these 2 people, so I'll just ask them. But up until now, there's been people waiting for matches, so I wanted to keep it best of 3 all the way. But yeah, sure, we'll do best of 5 for the final. We'll do best of 5. I know a lot of you guys want that. I know a lot of you guys want best of 3, but I think best of 5 is probably what most of you guys want to see. I think, no, don't worry, but don't worry. I'm always willing to adapt. Like, the only reason that I wanted to keep it best of 3 was because I said from the start, and I didn't want these guys to feel pressured into a best of 5, because I really hope that they didn't feel pressured into best of 5, because I said that it would be best of 3. But I know that if I ask them, hey, can we make this best of 5? They're probably going to say, yeah, just because they feel pressured. So I really wanted it to be their decision, because these are the guys that have been putting on a great show all day. They're undefeated on the day. Florus has got here by taking down Metsanoris, first of all, who had a great tournament debut, by the way. I was very impressed with Metsa, taking a game off Devo as well. Oh, what a save by Florus. Hardly any boost to his name. Getting a good block and clear. But yeah, Florus took down Metsanoris, Sebadam, and then finally Ocelon in the semi. Fairy Peak has taken down Scrubkilla. He also took down Ocelon, so both of these guys had a hand in Ocelon's defeat. But his final match to get here was just on stream versus Devo. A great match it was. And a great comeback, or a great story to see Fairy Peak finally taking down Devo. He's always struggled in that matchup. Fairy Peak really could be a world beater in ones. When I watch him play, I see a player who's so smart, so mechanically gifted, and just so it's frightening how consistent he is, that he really could be a world beater in ones. I already consider him to be one of the best ones players that we've ever seen because of his ability to take down Scrub so many times and also K-Dop so many times, although Cuxer and Devo have given him trouble. Like, this is for sure one of the best players that we've ever seen in the ones arena. Florus trying to step up to that level. If he can win today, then for a lot of us that will be enough to then consider him in the same conversation as Fairy, Devo, Scrub, Cuxer and K-Dop. The only other name that might be worthy of being in that list is Marky, and it's been a while since we've seen Marky at his best. And I think the only American player who could be considered in that conversation is Dapper, actually. Dapper, for me, is by far the best American ones player that we've ever seen. The rise of Lethamyr recently, and of course Squishy having some very good individual series in the past, put them the next level down, right behind Dapper, in my opinion. But Dapper, for me, is like, he's been so good. He's been the best ones player in America for so long, I think. Of course, he struggles against Lethamyr, but everybody's got their demons. But that, I think, is enough of an intro. Looking at this game as an individual, it looks like Florus is going to have to be a lot more respectful of Fairy Peak's presence. He sees Fairy here and he refuses to get behind the ball and dodge. He simply refuses to respect Fairy Peak's 50-50. There we go, much better from Florus. It might not work in the long run because Fairy has the boost and the ball, but it's good to see Florus finally getting in the way of a Fairy Peak long shot, or close range shot rather. Well, what a start for Fairy Peak. He'll be regretting calling a best of 5 in the pre-game now. Now that this is moving up to a best of, or moving so hard in his favor, he would have been one game away from the win. But yeah, one of the things that makes Ferry so impressive for me in the one setting is his aerial game is just so solid. One of the best aerial games in a ones arena. Definitely up there with Cux and K-Dop and Squishy. Who are the others in the conversation? Florus, a player who's trying to get up to the top level of threes. This season he's teaming, of course, with Doomsy and Flarkey. It's a great team for him, I'm sure. As Flarkey's a very easy player to play with. I'm sure Florus will learn a lot from playing with him in terms of rotation and passing. And Doomsy, a great leader. Very experienced LAN player now as well. With how well he's doing at the Gfinity Elite Series. Are we going to see another F11 Horus? Is it too early to start talking about this? Because with the current rate of goals that Fairy Peak is scoring, we might be on track to another F11 Horus. Surely not. I thought when that happened that was a one-time thing. We're never going to see that again. Just a complete freak accident for Florus. He just could not stop a scrub killer who on that day was playing so well. And it was one of his earliest appearances on stream. He just could not play at his usual level. But it's definitely potential right now for an F11 Horus with how well Fairy is playing. Player of the tournament in my opinion so far. He's had the harder route to the final. He's taken down Scrub and Devo, last tournament's finalists. And he got revenge. It was Devo who knocked him out of the last tournament. And now Fairy knocks Devo out of this one. But F11 Horus is gone. It's going to be no worse than F1 Horus. F11 Onus. Sorry, I had to think about that one. Good placement of the shot, but more importantly, he's shut out the meme potential. I'm sure if that meme came back to haunt him, that would have been the end of the best of 5 in game 1. How do you come back from F11 Horus? He's going to have to come back from a South American country, though. Because we are indeed playing in European servers. You don't want to be in South America when you're playing in European servers. I would even go as far to score an own goal right now, just to escape that destiny. Florus is up, but Fairy Peak's backboard reads. His own ability to defend his own backboard from the side in 1v1 is probably the best in the world from Fairy, in my opinion. He manages to bait in players so consistently, and I rarely see him miss. I think he missed one against Devo, and you know, even with that one that he missed, he connected with others. His defense, when he's playing on point, just looks so impenetrable. Only Devo on his day has been able to stop this. And of course, his debut performance on my stream against Cuxer didn't go too well for Fairy, but I don't even consider that matchup that much when I'm thinking about Fairy and his current ability, because that was so long ago. That was a Fairy Peak who was playing in his second ever streamed show match, and I think we were up to almost 3,000 viewers and $1,500 in the line, so that was the most pressure that he'd ever been under at that time, and he's grown so much since then. RLCS Grand Finalist, which he proudly wears from Season 3, and he's really putting it away with Florus, who is the less experienced of the two by a long way. This is going to be a big learning experience for Florus, win or lose. And right now it looks like it's only going to be a loss, and an embarrassing loss at that. Is this the most one-sided game of the tournament so far? I think so. 8 goals, and Florus might lose 10 in one match. It's a Fairy Peak here. He's on track to losing 10 in a single game. Well played to get one more past Fairy. I think that the double Brazil is not on the table. And everybody in the live chat, of course, just adapting Florus' name with every goal that goes in. F92us is apparently his name now. But is Fairy going to be able to put 10 past Florus? That is the question at the moment. He nearly worked it past him there. And you know he's going to be up for this pretty early. A bit too fast. He chose to jump at. Fairy is a deceptively fast player. Sometimes made to look slow by Devo's bullying style. Oh! And a harder dunk would have been a goal to bring it up to 10. But Florus escapes that fate. And we'll be very glad that this is not a best of 3. Best of 5 is going to give him more time to try and figure out how to counter Fairy Peak. How to stop him from saving all of his shots. I mean, if you look at the shot total, everything's identical down the line except the saves and the goals. Fairy Peak just having a way better time in defense than Florus is. That's the one thing that Florus needs to do right now. He needs to establish a solid defense. He needs to either start saving Fairy's shots or win every possession and control the possession like he did against Ocelon. Rig this and bring Scrub back to play Fairy. Well, Fairy's already beaten Scrub today, and comfortably so. It was a very solid win for him. But Fairy's just playing too fast for Florus right now. Florus again disrespecting Fairy Peak's ball control with a wave dash. I talked about this earlier. It's all good and well to be able to wave dash, but you got to know when to do it. Florus, once again, wave dashing at a time where you should really just be playing a bit more safe and secure. And Fairy Peak is just playing the direct route right now, hitting the ball hard and fast at Florus' goal, and Florus is completely whiffed on an easy aerial. It's a good power slide though, what a recovery. That's really well done to get back into the game after what was a complete miss on an uncontested aerial. Oh, what a save by Florus. He beamed it so hard that Fairy came off his line. And he had a lot of work to do to get back into position. I gotta wonder sometimes if players do that on purpose. Just beam it hard enough that your opponent thinks you're at the game, and then you're actually in the game the whole time. Coxer tends to do that quite a lot. But this is where Florus wants to be. He needs to be the player that controls the flow of the game. If he is going to beat Fairy Peak, he needs this so badly to be under his control. The second that he gives Fairy any time on the ball, or if he gives Fairy an in when he's attacking, you know that Fairy is going to transition that into an unstoppable offensive play very, very easily. More often than not. Oh, but he might have just passed this to Florus. Florus slow plays it. He decided that there was not enough time, or there was, not going to be enough time between then and Fairy's recovery. Oh, Fairy Peak with a huge miss. That is so uncharacteristic of Fairy Peak to miss that. The one thing that we can usually count on him for is goals like that, where he just nips in, steals the ball, puts it on net before anything can happen. But their quick redemption story as Florus' shadow defense once again gets beaten. This is easily, for me, the worst part of his game. Tripping on the goalpost gave him no chance to keep that well-placed shot out the net. This is all a story of, can Florus avoid getting forced into that position? Because we know that if he gets forced into that position in defense, it is all over. He lost the game against Ocelon because Ocelon managed to force him into that position one too many times. And versus Sebedam, he also dropped the game. Oh, Fairy really could have scored there with a better placement of the shot. Oh, the mind game by Fairy is too good. This is looking really, really bad for Florus. He is struggling so much to get involved in the game in defense. Whenever Fairy has the ball, it looks like he's going to score. That is not good news if you're a Florus fan. He's not been getting anywhere near as many kickoff goals as he did against Ocelon either. Fairy's kickoff is holding up pretty well against his. Another shot goes astray, just not good enough for Florus. Oh, Fairy Peak steals the boost. Florus is in another awkward position. Fairy fakes the boost grab, goes infield, scores the goal. And Florus once again gets outmaneuvered by the Frenchman. This will be 2 English players in a row that Fairy's had to play against. And will he be able to beat both of them? We will see. He's halfway there. He's more than halfway there. In fact, what a save by Fairy. The difference in defensive capability by these guys is just night and day. But Florus gets his revenge on the low fake. Fairy put one of these past him, and now he's done the same to Fairy Peak. He saw the pre-jump and stayed low, waited till Fairy was out the way before he put it into the net. Well played. Still within touching distance. It's a much closer affair than the last game, and this should be a kickoff goal if the shot is good enough. Oh my goodness, Fairy Peak, will you stop? He just makes it back for these last-ditch saves every single time. And again, outplaying florus in the air. Florus looking for boost and the ball. He's going to find it. But he's not able to keep the ball under control for very long. He was out of options there as he dropped it off the front of his car. Once again, Florus is dropping the ball, but he's got it back on top in time for the backflip flick. Fairy Peak dropping a nice one in the chat for this. Florus there had to do something that we always see from Devo. He realized that he'd accelerated the ball a little bit too much, so he let it fall off his car, got to the side, cut back underneath it, went all the way across it, and then hit it with a backflip to completely break Fairy Peak's axles. This is a must-win game for Florus, so it is a best of 5. We decided to go with it because the players wanted to... Well, Florus had no preference, but Fairy Peak preferred a best of 5, so we decided to go with that for the final game. But with that being said, I really don't see Florus winning 3 games in a row if he loses here. He's on the run. Good line from Florus. He never let go of the boost button. Went high up the wall to get it past Fairy Peak, and that is a great side flip shot on the volley. Florus is in the lead, finally able to punish Fairy for going way across the mark with a fake challenge. And this is the final for anybody just tuning in. This is the last series of the day. We've had 12 best of 3s to get to this point. Both of these guys are undefeated. Every other player in the tournament lost at least twice. So certainly today, these are your 2 players to beat. But Fairy Peak, for me, still playing on another level. Florus is having a great game too. He's doing everything he can to stay in touch in the series. Fairy Peak just so consistent with these saves close to his own crossbar, and every time he's landing on the back of the goal and right back in the game before his opponent has any chance to fire a rebound. Florus is staying with it, the 30 seconds to go. Florus is still in control. He's done well to come back after such a crushing Game 1 defeat. But this might be another tie game. Yes, it will. Fairy Peak, too fast, too efficient. Great recovery after the challenge on the wall. And we are all tied up yet again. Fairy Peak has Florus on the ropes already in series score. And he can start to push him out the ring with another 1 goal is all it takes. And that could have been it. That really could have been it for Fairy. He's so smart with his challenges. Every time he's throwing in a challenge, he's also setting up a potential shot in the process. Oh, and he might keep this up. Could have scored across the field there if he had a slightly better first touch. Florus completely beamed the wall shot. Florus going to outplay Fairy in one sense there. He predicted which boost Fairy was going for, but he did not do anything about Fairy's early challenge. Gets away with it yet again. Florus has had so many moments this game where he really could have lost, and he's hanging on, but barely. This is so close for Florus. Not playing the cleanest ending to a game, but he's got another chance. The side flip flick is lacking. He looks for the demo in the exit, but he has to be so careful. Fairy Peak is so good at turning these plays into chances on the net. And another dunk attempt by Fairy goes astray. Florus would have had a demo there if it wasn't for Fairy's keen eye jumping over him. And again, but Fairy's recovering fast. Florus needed that demo as he landed, but he's got another open net. Can he put it right side of the goal? He puts it into the center, but it's good enough. 1-1 in the series. Florus' shot was not perfect, but it was just enough to go in. Fairy Peak so close to saving that, my goodness. But we are going to see at least 4 games in the grand final. And we may as well play it, well, if it wasn't a best of 3 at the start, it is a best of 3 now. 1-1, 2 games in. Florus finally able to keep Fairy Peak at bay. But wow, if this, for these first 2 games is anything to go by, This is going to be such a tough task for Florus, because he played a great game there. He played really, really well. And it was still so close. He just needs to try and shore up on these little weaknesses. He just leaves gaps for Fairy to exploit. Not enough respect, I think, from Florus in Fairy Peak's phenomenal recovery mechanics. Some of Fairy's recoveries are absolutely world class. And Florus has to be so careful, because if he doesn't read Fairy's play, this is going to keep happening. He has to see this coming. Fairy is just arriving at the ball before Florus even sees him make the initial move. It is all on Florus now to keep an eye on Fairy. He has to try and spot Fairy before he gets to the ball. Because if Fairy's already at the ball, it's over. There's no way you're going to stop him. His shots are too good. He's just too clean. But Florus is staying in touch. If nothing else, the last game and the first 20 seconds of this game have shown us that Florus will be in play. It will be up to him to decide whether or not this is a close series. If he beans it, then this is going to be free for Fairy. But if not, then Fairy is going to have to work for this. Can Florus play consistently in the biggest stage that he's ever played on? Oh, he could have had that. He's still trying to find a goal from this attack. He's going to have to recycle though, try again. After that slight understeer. Still got Fairy on the rope, so Fairy has no boost, if any. He's got literally none. Florus inside of the post yet again. And he's not able to rebound. I see everybody spamming WTF and I'm just like, seriously guys. What are you even trying to do? Florus has had Fairy in his own half, in his own box for so long now, but he's not been rewarded. In fact, he lets his guard down for a split second, and that is 2-1 Fairy Peak. Florus, you need to respect this man's ability to save up boost and recover fast. I was like, why are you guys spamming WTF? Nothing crazy happened. Everything that happened is pretty normal. I'm not going to get fooled by this. Unless there's like a, unless there was an alert. But I'm not going to look at my alerts, so it's no big deal. Oh, Florus. Again, not looking comfortable in the shadowing position. This is a routine save at the highest level, but Florus is so afraid off the shot towards the top right-hand corner of his goal that he has given away another shot from his shadowing and defense not being good enough. Is this on target? Florus has some work to do. He can't keep it out. Another one creeps in. Florus's defense is just not good enough right now. We're right back into game one, Florus, after he was unable to penetrate Fairy's defense after about 30 seconds of constant pressure. Fairy Peak in 30 seconds is put multiple goals past him. Should have been another one though. Should have been another. And what is Florus going to do? How is he going to go about dispossessing Fairy? Because for the time being, Fairy is just shooting at will. Florus does not have a reliable strategy for dispossessing Fairy in the midfield, and so many chances are going undefended. 5 shots, only two saves for Florus, and he's only been saving, I think, 1 goal last game and 4 the game before. There's not been high save counts for Florus. Nothing like the likes that we sometimes see from Fairy, K-Dop and Cux, or even Scrub when he decides to play a defensive game. And Fairy knows that he doesn't even need to force it. Florus is making enough defensive misplays that he can just wait for it to happen and then roll the ball into the open net. Tries to once again. This time Florus is finally there to stop it from occurring. And there we go, Florus ground play. Some of the best in the world when he can find the space to do it. And it's the approach here that's good enough. He had Fairy in his sights that whole time, so he knew when the challenge was going to come in. And he timed it to perfection with the flick. Still though, Fairy comfortably in the lead. This is another great chance though. Fairy has dodged here. Florus needs a great first touch to put it on target in time. No fast center ball. takes that out of the question. Another jump over Florus' bump attempt. We're not even surprised to see Ferry do this. He's such an aware player. 2 minutes for Florus to try to find his way back into the game here against the player who has looked like the player to beat today. Again, for anybody just tuning in, there is $500 going to the winner of this match and $200 going to the loser. Florus forced into shooting the ball at his own crossbar. Good job not overcommitting into another position which would have been too far forward. And good fast dribbling by Florus. This is not unlike Devo's dribbling. And I like it because Devo, of course, is the player who's caused the most problems for Fairy Peak in the past. Florus taking a leaf out of Devo's book and dribbling quickly as possible, in fact. He wants to take as many shots as he can from this point onwards because Fairy's defense is going to be tough to put 2 goals past, even in a minute and 22 seconds. Oh my goodness, Florus was nowhere near saving a top corner shot there, but the shot goes slightly wide. Florus getting a little bit fortunate to keep tagging Fairy like this every time that they're coming out of a 50-50. He's got to make a play, and fast though. He's got to keep on shooting at the net. The first touch, he's got to be a lot better than that if Florus is going to come away with the W here. Another big chance. Fairy's done well to save up as much boost as he has though. Oh my goodness, Fairy, what a recovery. He accidentally centers it in front of his own net, but he does well to get back and pinch it clear. And Florus still has more chances. He's dropped the ball though. This just not good enough. At this level, Florus needs to be playing proactively in attack here. He needs to shoot the ball at Fairy's net and make Fairy save it. At least force a good play out of Fairy like the one we just saw. And it might be a little bit too little too late. He needs to score now with his attack, or it is double match point for Fairy Peak. More fast dribbling, but he slows it down at the last second. He's questioning his mechanics at a time when he needs to be playing on autopilot more than anything else. And it will be Fairy Peak 2-1. The man who asked for a best of 5 would have won a best of 3, of course. It's always going to be different depending on the circumstance. It's always going to be different. But I'm not surprised by this result. I think given how these guys have played today, Fairy Peak, oh, what a handstand. He's just looked a little bit too good. He's looked a little bit too good. Florus has shown us that when he's playing his game, when he's playing well, he can match Fairy Peak, even though Fairy Peak's playing some of the best Rocket League I've ever seen from him. If not the best Rocket League I've ever seen from him, in ones at least. Will we see a Game 5? I'm sure that all of you would love to see a Game 5. I know that I would absolutely love to. But with how well Fairy is playing, it does not look likely. Florus just not picking the best times to attack. Fairy Peak sniffed out that last second challenge, hit the ball right before the bounce on the volley. Something that players have gotten so much better at in recent times is volleying the ball. Oh my goodness, so close for Fairy, but Florus should have the counter-attack goal. Fairy again, so fast in the recovery. Denying Florus's top corner shot. Florus decided to go for an air dribble. Not a bad one, but it was pretty central and low enough that Fairy didn't have to commit to the jump very early. Fairy's air dribble defense is usually pretty good. Oh, what a pre-jump save. Florus was on point with the rebound. Mechanically, I think Florus is the equal of Fairy Peak. I think these guys are pretty close in terms of mechanics. But the decision-making of Fairy's been on another level right now. Finally, Florus gets rewarded for his consistent pressure. Yeah, if the game was a best of 3, I would have given full credit to Fairy's world-class defense for the win. Florus has a lot of work to do before he can get his defense up to that level. Offensively, he is definitely up there with the best in the world. Fairy again with a bit of a cheeky approach. He's trying to catch Florus taking a soft touch, but I don't expect that from Florus many more times. He knows that the reason Devo gives Fairy trouble is by playing fast. Oh, Florus gets slammed though. Ferry scoring florus and the ball. We have to see this again. Completely beamed him, my goodness. Saved his dodge for the impact. This is going to be incredibly difficult for Florus to close out not just this game, but indeed the series. He's done well getting some revenge on the bump attempt with one of his own. It is certainly not over yet. But I cannot stress to you guys enough how difficult it must be for Florus to play in front of an audience this large. One of the most, I think this is top 3 viewer record for me on Twitch at least, and probably 3 times more than the viewers Florus has played in front of on my stream in the past, with a lot more money on the line. Both these guys already securing $200, $300 more going to the winner. But Florus is starting to find his groove. Fairy Peak, despite the fact that he's able to pick up a couple of boost pads, was not really in any position to make an interception there. Florus is wrong-footing him, putting him into reverse, where he would really rather be going forwards and popping the ball into his own crossbar, like we all know he loves to do. Florus has got to dodge away here. There's nothing else for it. He needs to pre-jump a rebound, and he does! The correct play and execution from Florus in defense. Something that he has been plagued by all series long. But he does so well there. He had no choice but to pre-jump. And he did. And he found the save. Still, there's going to be so much more work to do for Florus. He's got 2 minutes and 45 seconds against one of the best players in the world. But right now, he's stepping up to the plate. He is matching Fairy Peak, blow for blow. But Fairy Peak, again, is there for the save. Necessary wave dash there by Florus in order to get back into the game. Good to see him not overcommitting on a challenge at the side of the field. And Florus might have just done the Fairy Peak to Fairy Peak. Has he done this? He might have done. Yes, he has. Fairy Peak does this to Florus so many times. But this time, Florus is the one who's able to run it end-to-end into the open net. For anybody wondering where the other $300 from the prize pool goes to, we have 500 plus 200 for the winner for the final. And then there's semi-finalists, both get 100. 5th, 6th place, both get 50. Decided to do an entire, like a much bigger split this time than I usually do, because why not? Wanted to mix things up, see what you guys think is best. YouTube, you can leave it in the comments whether you think this format is better than last format that I did, or if you think it's worse. You could tell me if you think the prize pool distribution is better or worse. I'm down to have feedback on this, both live and in the YouTube comments. I've never replied to a YouTube comment in a long time, but I read pretty much all of them, so you'll know that I'll see it. Oh, there we go. Right, Fairy Peak. Back in his usual, just roll the ball down the middle of the field, right into the wide open net. He's like, Florus, I'm sorry, but you've overstepped the margin once again. Yeah, you can never know what is better till you go all the way in one direction, then all the way in the other, and see both formats, both prize pool splits, but both outcomes separately. I know I don't like when tournaments go 50-50 and they kind of do, you know, a weird prize pool split where they're trying to do a winner takes all kind of thing, but they take off a tiny little bit and it's kind of pointless. They're like, oh yeah, we've given $10 to the player who came 8th, and I'm like, well, why? Why not just, instead of giving $10 to all the players 8th or 9th through 16th, you could just take all their $10 and give 100 to someone else, because 10 is just too little in Rocket League. You gotta, I think 50 is probably the least amount of money that anybody should be winning in Rocket League with the current state of the esport. Like 50 is probably the minimum that anyone at the pro level really cares about. But we will see a game 5 if Florus can just continue what's been his most solid performance of the series, actually. He's done really well defensively, so much better than we're used to seeing from him. And beautiful recovery as well to punish Fairy's overt aggression. That was a great save. And I think he thought about wave dashing there, but he decided against it. He has to try and kick that habit, does Florus. Sometimes he's wave dashing for the fun of it, not because it's a good idea. But 4 goals separate our 2 finalists, our 2 undefeated players from the tournament today. And if all continues as it currently stands, we will go to game 5. They could not be separated in any less games, it seems. And I am definitely glad that we saw game 5. It would have been sad if we went for a best of 5 and it went 3-0, but hey, best of 5 going to game 5. That is certainly something that I'd like to see. And it will go to game 5. There's no way for Fairy to come back now. I'll even go ahead and update it before I forget to do it between games. Although, oh, sorry, not 12. I've been getting better at not forgetting to update the prize pool recently. Something I've been getting much better at, which I don't know why I'm even proud of myself for that, because it's not really that hard to remember to do if you've got a decent memory, which I don't. So there you have it. Florus trying with all his might to make the step up to join all the 1v1 European gods. He wants to be in that conversation for best 1v1 player in the world, and although a win here might not quite be enough to launch him onto that pedestal, he is doing everything he can, and it has all come down to this. 7 saves for Florus. What a turnaround. That is huge. I think that is just as many saves, almost as many saves as he's had in the previous 3 games combined. So what a play by Florus. Just when he needed it most, his defense has really shown up. He's elevated his goalkeeping game to a whole other level, and this is it. Best of 5 has gone all the way. We've had 13 series today. This is the 13th. Hopefully it's not unlucky for either of these guys. And Florus, the underdog, going into the day, or one of the underdogs going into the day, one of the players who had the most to prove, is certainly doing it now. He's asking tough questions of Fairy Peak at the start of game 5. Fairy Peak does have an answer, but he can't answer this one. Florus is in the lead. And is he going to have the mental fortitude? Does he believe in himself enough to cross the finish line? He is on the home straight. He's won 3 best of 3s before this series even began. He's taken 2 games off Fairy Peak up until now. Can he take a third? With placement like that, I'm sure that he will be able to, because that is a self-pass off the inside of the post. Fairy Peak is in trouble. Trying to make a reactive save from point-blank range. Certainly never a good idea, but Fairy Peak has had the best defense out of these 2. Some of the best defense in the whole tournament up until now. And it's already been a good tournament for Fairy Peak, taking down both Scrub and Devo. And getting revenge on Uslan. Like all the players that... Oh, that would have been disgusting for Florus. Has he been able to recover? Nearly able to get back in time. I have to give him credit for that recovery attempt. But Fairy Peak withstands the ambush. Stays just on the right side of the ball to keep it on target. But like I was saying, this has been a great tournament for Fairy Peak. He's beaten Scrub again. Then he's gotten his revenge on Uslan. Last time they played before this tournament, Uslan took him down 3-0. Fairy Peak dispatched him 2-0. He also dispatched with Devo, the player who he's never beaten a series before today. But he is only going to be happy with a W. And the player who's giving him the most trouble is in fact his grand final opponent, Florus. Power slide not quite good enough. Florus did understeer on what was in essence an open net free shot, uncontested. Florus has still had the lion's share of the possession so far. He does well in the air once again, using every ounce of boost to meet Fairy Peak at the ball, if not beat him. 3.5 minutes to go. Florus again, so good from the midfield with the flicks. He's out flicking one of the best players in the world. Fairy Peak, when he exploded onto the scene, blew everybody's minds. He surprised us all with how consistent he was at booming flicks from distance. But Florus is on a whole other level right now when we take the flicking game into account, and he's clattered Fairy Peak off that ball. Kickoff goal it was, but he did well to deal with Fairy Peak before worrying about the open net. And he's done it again, this time in defense. Florus is out muscling Fairy Peak. Nearly half of the game gone. 2 goals in the lead. Looking like the best florist I've ever seen on stream. But this is still a long way to go. Fairy Peak with some bumping of his own. These guys are fighting tooth and nail right now. The florist has still got the final hurdle across. He needs to make it into that final minute and then make it through that final minute, which I'm sure will be the longest minute of his life if he goes in the lead. Again, a little bit of a tussle. Florus has heard Fairy Peak flip away. That's why he's not worried about taking the ball slow here. And he's outmaneuvered Fairy yet again. What a play. Playing off a sound cue in the corner. He heard Fairy flipping away, decided to turn around and take it back into his own corner as Fairy Peak was flipping to move into position on the far side of the field. That is an incredibly aware play by Florus. And another great save. What a turnaround for Florus's defense. He's completely transformed himself between game 3 and 4 into a defensive monster. I don't know how he's done it, but now, oh well, until Fairy Peak completely makes him look like a fool with a great fake. Florus, he knew that he might have to pre-jump if he wanted to save a top right-hand corner shot, but Fairy Peak had other ideas. Surprised to see Florus throwing a ball from such a distance, and he might get punished for it. Never mind. Florus is the bump master in the final game here. Still 2 goals separate them. Fairy Peak has scored the goal previous to this one. Florus's defense called into question. That shot from Fairy is not at all what we come to expect from him. He has fired straight at Florus and gifted Florus a 2-goal miss. That was the worst shot I've seen from Fairy Peak all day, and it has come at the worst time. 3 goals is a lot for Fairy Peak to do against a player who's playing so well, and Fairy Peak has beamed it yet again. We thought it might be Florus who would choke at the final hurdle, but what has happened to Fairy? Oh my goodness, he just jumped by mistake. I don't think I've ever seen a collapse like this from Fairy Peak. He still has time, and I like that he's throwing in some mischievous kickoffs, but it might not even work. In fact, it's another goal. Florus is up by 5. Fairy Bean is not having the best final game here. In fact, this might be the worst game he's played. Even worse than his first game against Devo earlier. I think this is the right time to say it, guys. Fairy Peak is troubled. I love the backflip shot, but Florus's defense is elevated in the past game. He is now playing so well in goal. Finally, Fairy Peak does it. This is what I thought was going to happen when he was down 3-5. I thought he was just going to come close, throw the ball into the top of the net, and Florus would probably miss a save. But instead, he missed that shot so badly that Florus went up 6-3, and then he scored 2 more after in quick succession. So really, I think this game could have gone into a position where it was only 1 goal difference. Instead, it went 5 goals difference. Really a crazy, crazy turn of events. And with 54 seconds, Florus has Fairy on his final chance. He's trying to get a fast goal run in, but he can't get it fast enough. Florus is still kicking about in the corner, refusing to give up ball pressure. And Florus has completely dominated the bump game. Fairy Peak fires wide. That might be game. He needed that goal so badly to have a chance here. He will get one, but with 26 seconds, I don't know if Fairy can do this. I don't know if he can do this. Devo called GG's at about this point against Fairy. He does get 1 kickoff possession. The shot is completely out of the question if we're asking if it's going to go in. Oh, what is Florus doing? He's decided to chase Fairy pretty far here, and that might be another goal. Yes, it will. I don't know what Florus was doing, driving off his goal line here and looking for a makeout session. But if nothing else, he's making it an interesting ending. 1 kickoff win in the next 2 kickoffs for Florus, and it is GG. That is probably it. All he needed to do is win possession on one of the kickoffs, and surely... Wait a minute, surely there's no way. Okay, GG's. Florus has done it. He has taken the tournament He came back from 2-1 down, and he has beaten Fairy Peak 3-2. Fairy Peak knocked out both of last month's finalists, Devo and Scrub Killer, single-handedly. What a win for Florus. That is a huge, huge win for the young man from England. Great to see him finally showing up and performing in a ones tournament at the highest level. So there you go. I'm going to put him in a bright little yellow box here because that seems appropriate. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? Florus, you've never looked so good, mate. How do I zoom in on this? Can I zoom in on this? Don't know if I can. No. Oh. No. I don't. Okay, never mind. I tried to zoom in, but there we go. Fairy Peak wanted best of 5, and you might regret that, but yeah, Florus is the champion. We're going to do a quick revision of the bracket. Alright, Florus, you got my Discord, don't you? Hop on my Discord. I'll give you an interview in like 2 minutes. Okay, I'll recap on the bracket. I know some people are in adverts, but I'm sure they'll be more interested in an interview. So, round 1, random draw. We had Ossalon, Sebedam, Florus, and Fairy Peak progressing. Well, moving on to round 2 of the Swiss with a win under their belts. After round 2, we had Fairy Peak and Florus moving to a 2-0 perfect record. K-Dop and Devo coming back from the ashes to join Ossalon and Sebedam in a 1-1 record. Scrubkilla and Metza out. Well, Scrubkilla was first to go out. That was a surprise. Then we had Ossalon knocking out K-Dop 2-0. Devo knocking out Sebedam 2-0. Moving on to the semi-finals. No rematches this whole tournament. So that was pretty cool. And then Devo finally lost a series to Fairy Peak, and Ossalon lost to his friend and rival Florus, who both remained undefeated until the final, where Fairy Peak finally fell. And that is where we will see Florus taking his first ever series win. But yeah, Florus, I'll see if he's got my Discord. Florus is today's champion. He will go home with $500. $500. And second place, Fairy Peak, gets 200. We have 100 for Devo, 100 for Ossalon, and 50 for K-Dop, and 50 for Sebedam. So that's the 1K. That's the 1K split. Florus getting half. Florus, do you even want to be interviewed? If Florus doesn't want to be interviewed, I'm not going to force him. Not like I can. Yeah, get in here if you want, Florus. Hop in my Discord, and I'll move you into the private room, but only if you want to. If you're like too shaken, then don't worry about it. It's totally fine. Much love. Thanks for playing. It was a great series. You're a little shaken. That's yeah. Don't worry about it. It's fine. Ads are whenever you're ready. Ads are done running. So if you want to get interviewed, now is the time. Force him. All right, Florus Lava, get in here. The people have asked for you. This is the chance for you to. I'll only ask you like 3 or 4 questions. Don't worry. I'm not going to keep you around forever. All right, here he is. Here's Russell. Hello.
Hello.
Hello, Russell. How's it going?
It's going good. I'm slipping a little shaky, but I'm good.
So we'll rewind. First round, you were against Metza. Easy peasy?
Yeah, I mean, obviously I was kind of the favourite there, but I knew that I absolutely took it completely seriously because Metza's a really good player, and definitely it'll be a mistake to underestimate.
Yeah, so that's like the PC answer. What he really means is Metza, you suck, get ruined. So that was 2-0. I think it was 2-0. Yeah, you beat him 2-0. But Metza, for real, he's actually pretty good. And I think he's like top 100 or something.
Yeah, he's good. It's just his kickoffs, I think. That's a problem.
Yeah, he's like 65th in a row. Right behind Pashi, actually. So there you go. Good company. But yeah, so you had round 2 was Sebedam, right?
Yeah, that's when
that was 2-1.
Started to kick in.
I have to ask, how many times have you played Sebedam before?
Actually, a decent amount of times, probably like 6 or 7, purely because we play backstage at Chieffinity.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, we've done a few 1v1s.
Do you usually win? Because I've never seen that matchup before.
Yeah.
You usually win. So you expected to win?
I usually win. So I knew I was expected to win, but the nerves really started to kick in that second game. Like, a few of those saves were definitely like that last save where I just kind of double jumped accidentally.
Yeah.
Just kind of flopped. Yeah, that was.
You could have saved it for sure. Then Sebedam just brought it back from like 5. I think it was 5-3 you were winning, and then he just brought it back and won.
I just kind of saw like the 9 seconds, and I was just like, oh god.
All right, but yeah, 2-1. You beat Seb, and then you had to play against your buddy Ossalon in the semis. What's that like? Because you guys both play more than, I think he's your sparring partner pretty much. You play all the time.
Yes, right? Yeah, we've got quite a long story. We like started playing almost from the beginning of Rocket League on PS4, and I took him in from I was quite good at the time, and then I would start like beating him quite a lot, and then he caught up a lot, and we used to just 1v1 every single day for like months on end,
Yeah.
and we kind of stuck with that all the way, and then we switched to PC and shot up the leaderboards, and yeah, here we are.
So who wins more usually?
Um, I'm not gonna lie, it's completely 50-50 at the moment.
Yeah, I've heard that
It's
before. So what's he better than you at?
defense for sure, defense and kickoffs,
But you won
and
way more kickoffs than he did today.
yeah, this
What
was
did
the
you do
thing.
differently?
I've been losing kickoffs to him for a long time, and he knows that. And I had watched all the replays before the tournament, and I kind of finally figured out what I was doing wrong.
Hmm.
And even though I scrimmed him a few times before the tournament, I didn't decide to pull it out just then. I just tried to correct it in the match, which kind of caught him off
Ah,
guard.
that's pretty smart. Yeah, you knew
I
you might
got a
have
lot
to
of
play
kickoffs
him.
from that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just had to go more central. I think that was my mistake.
Hmm. But yeah, you beat him. That was a pretty close series. Pretty
Yeah, I
good though.
wasn't expecting it honestly. I don't know. I kind of got into a mindset where like I thought I was going to lose, and it kind of calmed me down,
Yeah.
and
Were,
then it
I was,
just sort of clicked. Yeah,
yeah, I was gonna say, were you glad to see that Scrub was already out from
yeah,
the
for
hands of
sure.
Fairy? And I know that
It's
you and Devo are both probably really glad that Scrub can't beat
yeah,
Fairy and
I
K Dot,
really
and he had to play
bad
both of
mental
them.
block against him.
Yeah,
Oh, I just
you and
get
Devo always lose,
flashbacks.
so that was probably really a sigh of relief. Is there any other
Yeah,
players that you're like that you really don't want to play, or is it just Scrub?
I actually didn't want to play Fairy because
Fairy,
I've lost to him quite a few times in ranked,
right? That's
and I
interesting.
was not looking forward to that.
Yeah, Fairy's
Yeah,
pretty nuts, and he was winning 2-1. He asked for
yeah,
the best of five, so he's probably regretting that now a little bit. I know,
yeah.
truth be told, I don't think he'll regret that. He wanted to play a best of five. He just wanted to play more
Mm.
games, make sure that the best man of the day won. Were you worried in
Yes.
game one when he was winning 6-0 that you might get
I
11
would.
0 again?
I was. It did cross my mind, but I kind of went into the with it with the mentality that I was happy with the finals, and
Yeah.
at that point, as the goals were kind of ticking down, I was literally just playing to kind of figure out his tendencies and figure out the kickoff. That's all I was playing for, and I didn't really mind how
Hmm.
many. Like I'd already lost the game, so I was just trying to download that playstyle.
Yeah. So what
And
changed? I know between game 3 and 4, I thought your defending was way better. Like, did you make a conscious change in the way you were trying to defend against him?
yeah,
Because not much changed in terms of pressure and possession. It's not like you won every kickoff or anything. You were just, saving a lot more. So what
yeah,
changed?
I kind of just recognized like he was really punishing me for early aggression, and I kind of just backed off a bit. And he kind of relies on me challenging him rather than like full on offense. So yeah.
Right. Yeah. And then what was going through your head in when you made game 5 and then you're winning?
Oh,
Were there
I was
thoughts of
just
throwing? What was going on inside your head?
yeah. There were lots of thoughts of throwing, and as the goals started to tick through, I was just like, "Come on, hold it
But
together
then
now."
yeah, he threw. He like collapsed. He
Yeah,
had
he did.
you. He I
I was
think
surprised. I was really
yeah, I couldn't
surprised
believe
because
you were winning 5-2. Then he scored one goal. Then he got another possession, and it looked like he might score again. And then he just hit it right at you. You scored, and then he just conceded
yeah,
twice more. I was like, what is going on?
yeah. I
So
think under the all that pressure, it's really hard to uh, do like risky plays and stuff because it's just you don't feel confident at all. You're just really just thinking about not conceding and your
yeah,
offense kind of
yeah,
because
you don't want to
with
go for the bar
offense
down.
like yeah, exactly. You really want to hit it central and you don't want to go for those near post shots because that could
Yeah,
lose you the game.
yeah, 2 goal miss. But yeah,
Yeah,
you held on. Slight
yeah,
slight panic at the end where you just kind of drove
just,
at him
just
when you're
a
up
little
by
bit.
3, and then went for the mid boost. I was like, what has he done?
Yeah,
If you
yeah.
just went
I
to your
mean,
goal there, I don't think it's like mathematically possible for him to win. But you
yeah, it was all
you
just
gave
a
him a
mental
chance.
thing. That's what it's been for me, really. Is just trying to get used to all the situation, like the experience, and get rid of my nerves. And that's really been my problem because I know I have the mechanics. I know I can beat these guys in ranked, but
Mhm.
it's just about really not panicking and staying calm.
So just because a lot of people have asked, I will also. But does F11 Oris bother you? The meme.
Yeah, I guess, but I mean, I'm not gonna let it bother me too much. There's
I
no
wouldn't
point,
personally.
really.
I wouldn't worry about it. I think it's only doing good things for you because any meme is a good meme,
Yeah,
unless
and I
it's
just
like unless it
it,
exposes something genuinely terrible that you've done. But honestly, losing to Scrub 11-0. Everybody's been there. It's fine.
Yeah,
It's no
that's
big
pretty
deal.
rough. And it kind of just spurred me on. I really wanted to shut it down because I knew I could prove it wrong. But
Hmm.
there you go.
So looking at RLCS season 4, I know that the
Mhm.
live audience on Twitch, this is relevant for you guys. I hope that you're not already eliminated by the time that this hits YouTube. I don't think that's possible. You're probably going to be fine still and alive
Hopefully.
with your team, Flarky and Doomsy. How did that
Mhm.
team happen, first of all? Because I know that's
It's
just
kind of
announced today or yesterday, right?
yeah, it's not the best story ever, but I kind of thought that I'd be on holiday during qualifiers, so I wasn't
Hmm.
planning on joining a team. And then I got back from World Champ Athletics in London at like midnight, and Flarky said like, "What are you doing for RCS?" And I was just like,
Hmm.
"Nothing really." He's like, "Do you want to try out with us?" And we tried out, and things went well in ranked. And
Of
by
course,
2
it's
a.m.
always
we
ranked.
got it sorted.
You won against like the PS4 team and ranked. Oh, we're amazing. Let's make a team.
Yeah,
Uh,
basically.
every team it starts like this. They're like, oh man, we crushed
Yeah,
ranked one night. We're signing up. But I mean, you didn't really have a choice. It is last minute. I'm pretty excited for that team,
yeah,
honestly. Have you
yeah.
played
It should be
much with
fun.
Doomsy and Flarky before, or is this going to be brand new?
No, I really haven't, but they seem really solid guys, and that kind of lets me do my crazy stuff. So
Hmm.
I like that freedom.
Yeah, it's
And yeah,
going to
they're
be.
really nice guys.
Oh yeah, great guy. I'm super excited to see that team. What's the team called again? It's like all England
Uh,
rejects apart, all English except Flarkey rejects.
yeah, I think so. It's a great name. Kid.
So why did Doomsy name it that? Is the next question. What is he thinking? I know it was
I
Doomsy's idea.
mean,
It's got to be.
I don't know. It's just it
Well,
was
what you
all a
should have
rush,
done
but
is you should do all English rejects, then in brackets except Flarkey. That would be.
yeah,
I think that would be cleaner.
perhaps.
Doomsy,
Yeah, that's
get
true.
your act together.
Seems to get it together, man.
But
Yep.
no, mate. Thanks for answering all the questions. You've been like in this tournament
Thank
for
you very much for the
ages.
opportunity and everything.
This has been like 6 hours, so really, I appreciate you giving up all your time. And yeah, I'll
It's
be sure
it's
to
been fun.
get you your $500. What are you going to spend it on?
I mean, I wasn't planning on getting it to be honest, so I haven't really thought about it. But
Save it, save it,
yeah, I guess
and
so.
then don't buy a
I'll be
car. Don't
boring.
buy a car. Every Rocket League player buys a car. I don't know why. As soon as you buy a car, you touch the door handle, it's like lost $10,000 of value. Just
Yeah,
buy
I'm not
something
quite
that
old enough for that
gains
yet.
value. Invest, boys.
Yeah,
Unless your game is really bad and you need the car to impress girls, then okay, that's an investment in another avenue. So sure, but yeah, that's my advice
yeah.
to you. You can't even wait. You're not even 17. You can't even drive yet.
No, I'm
Easy.
still 16.
Yeah. When are you 17?
October the 8th.
Everybody's saying $500 car. Mate, I mean, the Rocket League pros they just save up and as soon as they can afford it, they buy a car. That's like all everybody's doing. But yeah, I'll leave you to it. I'm gonna like revise the bracket one more time for everybody who might have missed it, and then head off. But yeah, where can people find you if they want to follow you or see what you're doing?
I'm at florus RL on Twitter and just florus RL on Twitch. The
So it's all
occasional ranked one
Florus.
stream.
It's all Florus RL.
Yep,
Oh,
try
so
to.
yeah, there you go. So his name as you see it on screen with an RL at the end, and you'll find all his social media and stuff. There we go. Spammed his Twitter. Bam.
Sell out. There you go.
But yeah, thanks again. I'm gonna leave you to it. Congrats on
No,
the
thank you
win,
very much.
and hopefully one time
Thanks.
when I'm actually at Gfinity, you'll also be there because we keep missing each other.
Yeah,
Right?
hopefully.
All right.
Cool.
See you later,
Thank you
man.
very much. See you.
So that was Florus. He did it. He won the tournament. I'm very happy for him. He deserves this because he's struggled really to transition from his ranked dominance. He had like two accounts in the top 10 for a long time, and he struggled to transition that into a tournament setting until now. So there you go.